Hi everybody and welcome to Path of Peace. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. Once and again we will choose some beautiful hints from the cards, from the wisdom of the tarot cards, to continue building out that strong container for our healing and creating hopefully a new story in our everyday life. Thank you so much for subscribing or giving thumbs up. I noticed that several people were joining this channel, so thank you so much and welcome. Okay, I will shuffle the cards and I will share once and again some hints. These readings are timeless. If you are coming here on the time that they are done, it's perfect, but they are eventually timeless. So you can come here anytime. Okay, so what can we learn? How can we deepen our healing journey and stay supported, stay in love, building up our resilience, not resistance, but resilience. Okay, so let's see. We have Four of Swords. Then we have Page of Pentacles. Oh, the Empty card. I forgot to remove this card. This is interesting. I forgot to remove this one. I will pull out one instead. Indeed, we could work with the blank one as well, but let's pull out one more. Okay, Chariot card. Beautiful. And let's keep the blank one here and see if it matches somewhere in the reading. So, Four of Swords is a beautiful card that is inviting us to rest. This is like a pause. Four of Swords. Four of Swords is like a pause. It is like that caterpillar being in the cocoon. It is not a caterpillar anymore, but it is not a butterfly anymore. And not yet, I'm sorry. Please forgive my English. I sometimes have troubles to find the right words. So, not caterpillar anymore, but not butterfly yet. It is a time of deep inner reflection. It is a time of pause. This is beautiful because when we take this into our healing process, then it may be that moment in that you may feel like nothing much is happening. Maybe you put a lot of effort into changes in your life or into healing yourself, and suddenly it feels like everything pauses, everything stops. Maybe nothing is working at this point. This can also be like worsening of the symptoms. If you are healing physically, there can be like this drop back or setback. What is beautiful about this card is that the message, the main message with it is to rest, to pause, to allow this state in between and maybe go more inward, wait. As this person is laying here down and these three swords are pointing on them, they are looking in this meditative state. It almost feels like they are looking for clarity. Yeah. The Three of Swords is usually connected with a wound, with pain, with suffering, or emotional trauma. Yeah. So there is still something almost like aiming to this person, but the whole situation is paused. And this person is looking for that new inspiration, for that new moment of action, for that new breath, because swords are connected with air, for that new breath. So this is like an invitation for pause, rest, meditation, sleeping, not pushing forward. And when you allow yourself to be in this space, in this time in between, not caterpillar anymore, not yet butterfly, then there will be most probably something emerging by itself. We have Page of Pentacles, and Page of Pentacles is like this new offer, new possibility, something practical. Pentacles are connected very strongly with our everyday life, with practical things, with money, with health. So it almost feels like if this state is allowed, things are not being way too pushed forward, there's like this meditative, quiet space, then there is something that will emerge from that space by itself, most probably. It feels that way. Maybe someone will offer you a job or study or to study something new, or maybe there will suddenly be this new opportunity as Page of Pentacles is offering us something new and steady that we can start developing in our lives. And then we have a Chariot card, and Chariot is like that power coming back. Yeah, it's like a movement energy. So suddenly with this beautiful opportunity, with something being offered to our hands, there is suddenly this possibility to continue moving. And Chariot can be, on a very practical level, it can be traveling, it can be moving homes, it can be changing direction in your life, very like movement-oriented energy. But on a deeper level, Chariot is about unifying your power, that you suddenly know who you are, where you wish to go. It is a card of very deep self-empowerment, in that we understand and know how to navigate through life. Yeah, suddenly we know where to go. We know how to use our personal power and will. Chariot is also a card of will and personal power. But what feels really beautiful and interesting, and I will bring in the blank card into this reading as well, it almost feels like there are many times on our healing journey, there are these moments in that we need to be quiet. We need to wait for something to emerge because something is not ready yet. We can't push it forward. It almost feels like it is some kind of like digesting period, resting period, yeah? Something getting ready within yourself, or sometimes even in the outer world. So this is like this beautiful invitation to recognize that when there is nothing much going on, or maybe when I have a setback in my healing journey, or maybe I have, this moment of fatigue, or suddenly I need to stop and pause. It is important to understand that these are very often the most fruitful times, because there is something happening inwardly. Something is building up, something is getting ready. So it is about being peaceful in this stage in between and really allow that meditation, allow that rest. Allow those new seeds to start growing so that you can come out empowered, so that you can then follow them and being empowered. Yeah, it is almost like resting, getting ready, digesting for this new opportunity, for this new self-empowerment and direction, movement, change, whatever the chariot will represent. Once and again, I pulled out an animal card from Jamie Sims, and this is our strategy card. We already have like a lot of strategy here with the Four of Swords, because I feel this is the strategy card, this digesting, this resting. What is beautiful about Jaguar? Jaguar is a very powerful medicine. It is a medicine that is taking away heaviness. It is digesting heavy energy. It is transforming heavy energy. Jaguar is the power of integrity, of truth, of kindness. It is a very strong medicine in that basically we can't hide anything. We have to see who we really are and where we are. Yeah, it's like you can lie to others, but you can't lie to yourself. It will eventually, come to the surface. So Jaguar medicine is like this truth, being truthful. It doesn't mean that we can't make mistakes. It simply means not playing all these different games and always coming back to that kindness, to that truthfulness, to that vulnerability, allowing these heavy processes to be transformed and digested within us, choosing the right path. Yeah, Jaguar is like receiving a praise for something that you've done in a good way. So it can be like a very strong medicine of inviting you to stand in your integrity, not being perfect, but just really standing in your truthfulness and kindness. And this combination that we have here, the Four of Swords and a Jaguar together, it almost feels like there is something digested or something needs to be transformed, something needs to be cleaned up. There needs to be maybe some kind of insight that can happen through meditation or reflection before we can move on, before we can continue this personal hero journey, our heroic journey to wholeness. Usually, when we are strong, when we really are paying attention and trying to stay in that truthfulness, then there is a reward. Jaguar is also a medicine of reward for those who are willing to see their own shadows and walk through them and be truthful and kind and be willing to transform that. So this is like a reward medicine at the same time. If you did your job, if you tried as best as you could, if you have been always coming back to your integrity and peace and kindness, no matter how many mistakes you have made on your healing journey, there will be reward coming your way. Yeah, because eventually it's not about those mistakes, but about coming back to yourself, coming back to your power. And that's the most beautiful and powerful message of the Jaguar. In this reading, specifically in this combination of the cards. So thank you so much for joining me once and again. I hope that you will be able to take some hints from this. Again, you can let me know in the comments. And I will be looking forward to connecting with you soon. Thank you, and bye-bye for now.